Good morning, organizers of the SET Forum, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be able to give a keynote speech here today. Your forum deals with an important issue. Nowadays, resilience is an invaluable asset. We live in a world marked by profound changes, global crises, and constantly new challenges. As we experience economic uncertainty, technological upheavals, the effects of climate change, and dramatic political tensions, there is a growing realization that we must reconsider long-held assumptions. It is precisely at times like these that the importance of societal economic resilience becomes evident. I will focus on 4 points: education, especially vocational education and training, the Swiss bottom-up system in education, research and innovation, international cooperation and openness, and stable finances. Let me begin with a brief overview of the State Secretariat for Education, Research and Innovation. SERI is responsible for preparing and implementing federal policy in the areas of education, research and innovation, in short, ERI. We help to ensure efficient teaching and high-quality research at Swiss universities, including at federal institutes in the ECDH domain. We co-finance cantonal universities and universities of applied sciences on a competitive basis. Along with the cantons, we promote a broad and diverse range of opportunities in both general education and vocational and professional education and training, and contribute to the funding. SERI promotes basic research, marketable innovation and startups via the Swiss National Science Foundation and the Federal Innovation Agency InnoSwiss. We support framework conditions for innovation, be it SMEs, startups, space actors, or big pharma. Last but not least, we create suitable conditions for ERI players to integrate into the European and global education, research and innovation landscape. I will return to some of these topics later. However, at this stage, I would like to point out that the issue of resilience is a major consideration in the federal government's performance and resource planning in the ERI field. One of the reasons why resilience is so important to us is because of the horizon in education, research and innovation. It is usually on a very long term. A child starting school today could be obtaining a master's degree in around 20 years or so. This contrasts with the breathtaking pace of non-stop technological change that our world is undergoing. Just think of the rapid progress being made in digitalization, particularly in the field of AI. So what must schooling today provide for the adults of tomorrow, with a view to a future which holds so much uncertainty? Reading, writing, language skills in general, and math remain essential. At the same time, interdisciplinary skills are increasingly important, such as learning skills and curiosity, whereby pupils learn how to learn and understand the importance of lifelong learning. Critical thinking and media literacy are no less vital. Being able to distinguish facts from alternative facts and biased opinions, critically questioning sources and using digital media responsibly. As active, responsible citizens, it is essential that we actively apply these skills in this age of an almost unmanageable flood of information. Furthermore, school children need to develop social and emotional skills, such as empathy, teamwork, and tolerance. I should point out that here in Switzerland, the cantons are primarily responsible for education. At the same time, the federal government's area policy is coordinated with the cantons. We work together closely on cross-cutting area policy issues in particular. First, digitalization, which involves opportunities to exploit the risks and the opportunities which are, of course, both of utmost importance for our future. Second, sustainable development, which is crucial to a future-resistant, resilient society and economy. And third, equal opportunities, which play a vital role in a strong society in which all individuals can grow towards their potential without discrimination. Fourth, the national and international cooperation, and it was mentioned already several times this morning, the openness, which is so important for a country like Switzerland, not only in the area domain. Another important aspect when considering resilience is dual-track vocational education and training, in short, VPET. It cannot be emphasized enough how important VPET, with its practical orientation, has been for the Swiss economy and will most probably continue to be so going forward. The world of work is undergoing a profound process of change. Technological progress and structural change are constantly placing a new requirement on people and skills. There's a need to continuously acquire, develop, and update the knowledge and skills we have, both for our own personal development and so that we can actively participate in the social and economic future of our country. Our dual VPET system plays an important role in this context. Its flexibility and permeability allows young people who have completed an apprenticeship to pursue a range of opportunities to obtain higher qualifications. For example, with the vocational baccalaureate, a young person can enter a University of Applied Sciences, or with the passerelle directly to the universities. Meanwhile, there's a wide range of professional education courses specially tailored to the needs of the economy, including federal professional examinations and other qualifications at professional education institutions. Workers can thus obtain the tools they need to specialize in their field or take on management roles. This sector of the Swiss education system allows access to tertiary level education even to those who have not had an academic school career. The appeal of VPET also lies in the fact that it is geared towards career changes and lifelong learning. This results in a relatively high level of job mobility in Switzerland. It is therefore clear that the federal government and the cantons must continue promoting the attractiveness of VPET and ensure it is viewed as equivalent to a general education or an academic university education. We also need to promote appropriate policy measures which encourage companies to continue providing a high number of training places. This is the only way to ensure that the Swiss VPET system continues to focus on the qualifications that companies actually require in a changing economy. Why do I focus on VPET here today? I'm absolutely aware that most of you have an academic background and career, but in Switzerland, 2/3 of our young people start their career with an apprenticeship. And this is one of the values of our education system. And I think it's very important that also the academic world is aware of this importance of our education systems, which makes us quite unique in an international comparison. Ladies and gentlemen, Switzerland's education, research and innovation policy strongly emphasizes a bottom-up approach with a high degree of autonomy for the institutions and individuals concerned. We believe in providing the players in the area system with the best possible conditions to pursue their aspirations independently and responsible. For some decades now, the Confederation has done well in this role as an enabler for the independent players in the area sector. Several figures show this. Youth unemployment in Switzerland is among the lowest in the world. Switzerland ranks second in the world for the number of scientific papers published in relation to population size. It ranks third in terms of the impact of the scientific papers published. Besides ETH Zurich and EPF Lausanne, 5 of its 10 cantonal universities are ranked among the top 200 in the most major international university rankings. And Switzerland has been a world leader in innovation for 15 years now. These figures reflect the long-term success of area policy and demonstrates its core resilience. A characteristic feature of this policy is that liberal Switzerland has no explicit innovation policy and certainly no industrial policy, but instead focuses on creating a general environment that favors innovation. For example, the federal government promotes basic research in all scientific disciplines via the Swiss National Science Foundation. Of course, new technologies in areas such as quantum mechanics and genetic engineering stem from findings in the so-called hard sciences. But that does not change the fact that the humanities and social sciences contribute meaning, orientation, and judgment, all of which are indispensable in a rapidly changing world and are fundamentally important to boosting resilience in our society. Ladies and gentlemen, as I draw to a close, I would like to emphasize the enormous importance of international cooperation in education, research, and innovation, particularly with regard to resilience. There are 2 main reasons why the Swiss area landscape is so competitive. Firstly, because for decades it has been able to attract and retain bright minds from all over the world. Secondly, because Swiss area players have long been strongly involved in international cooperation. This cooperation takes many forms. First and foremost, it's Switzerland associated participation in the EU framework programs for research and innovation. Switzerland also participates in multilateral organizations and their research infrastructures. It also has bilateral agreements, memoranda of understanding, strengthening our cooperation in a variety of areas. And we just recently signed agreements with South Korea, Japan, and the United Kingdom. There are also numerous partnerships between funding agencies and universities. International cooperation also takes place in VPAT and in mobility programs. In all of this, international cooperation has various aspects. It involves give and take, leading to mutual benefits. Swarm intelligence allows us to tackle challenges that even the most powerful countries cannot overcome alone. We boost our competitiveness and quality in order to be able to work with the best in the world. We can make investments in research infrastructure that are only feasible because broadly supported, such in the absolutely exceptional case for the future circular collider plant at the CERN, the costs of which are currently estimated at 20 billion euro. Science diplomacy is one final aspect. Science and research are a key that opens doors in foreign policy and partnerships in generally, especially for a small country like Switzerland. By cultivating long-term cooperation with international partners, not only in science, but in many other areas as well, we can build trust and strengthen both our own resilience and that of our partners, in challenging times. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you inspiring discussions over the next 2 days. It was a pleasure being here, and all the best.